Why was the Earth put here on purpose? Even if there is a slight deviation, we may not even exist. To give you an intuitive feeling, this time you threw me off the ship. Experience these moons in the solar system, the most terrifying environment. Then you will know. Full score Earth. How rare is it in the universe? First stop, I'll start with Titan, the most promising. As Saturn's giant moon Titan, his extremely cold temperatures and thick atmosphere, it will be an extremely dangerous journey for me. This is the only place in the solar system that has satellites with a thick atmosphere. In an instant, a heavy pressure hit. The air pressure here is 1.5 times that of the Earth. I feel like I'm in 15 meters deep under the sea. It's dim all around. Atmospheric composition analysis revealed 95% is nitrogen, 5% is methane. I have to pay attention to the tightness of the spacesuit at all times. Any oxygen leak could cause a catastrophic explosion. And I cautiously started exploring. You can see the lake twinkling in the distance. This is in addition to the Earth, the only surface fluid in the solar system. Celestial bodies and lakes. The temperature here is extremely low. Liquid methane will fall like rain, forming these lakes. Detector display. The lake contains liquid armor at minus 180 degrees Celsius. Alkane. I'm collecting samples along the lake. Slip. Falling into this icy lake. Methane is half as dense as water. I can't float at all. Too late to even struggle. The body sinks uncontrollably. So fast that not even a ripple has spread. I will not drown. Because before I realized I needed to breathe, my lungs and my entire body has been completely frozen in seconds, transform into an eternal ice sculpture. If this experience is out of 10 points, I rate the Titans 9. I crunched very dry, very distinctive. 1 point is deducted because I got messed up twice. Freeze once. Once is a potential explosion risk. Since we're still around Saturn, go and see Enceladus. It's cooler here than Titan. It reaches minus 201 degrees Celsius. It's only 504 kilometers in diameter, 10 times smaller than Titan. So, the gravity here is only 0.113 meters per square second, 100 times lower than the Earth. His insignificance, it also means he was torn under the huge attractive forces of Saturn. Any seismic activity, it can be felt anywhere on this satellite. They're powerful. Can rip entire ice sheets apart and throw them into space. Or cause a powerful moonquake. Can bury me. Let me be swallowed by ice and snow. Under the ice that almost buried me, it's a hidden ocean. In the Antarctic region, the thickness of the ice shell is approximately 1.94 kilometers. I see huge gaps in the distance. Springs gush out of cracks in the Earth's crust, continuously spewing ice crystals into space, continuously delivering material to one of Saturn's magnificent rings. When I tried to dig through the ice, but the probe sent a deadly alarm. And these eruptions are not just ice. Also contains a large amount of gas buried deep in the core. Methane, nitrogen, carbon monoxide, and hydrogenated hydrogen. This is what happens in spy movies. The poison the spy took to avoid interrogation. Scientists believe that Jinhwacking is one of the chemical foundations for the creation of life. But when he was sprayed directly into his face, he is the signal of the end of life. A strong jet has no sign, exploding from the crack at my feet. Straight to my mask. Within a minute, I had respiratory failure. Seizure. Then it's all over. What a pity. I haven't yet explored the huge ocean beneath that ice. I hung up. This time I give Enceladus a 4. The process is a bit awkward. And I even have the most elite underground on this planet. The ocean has never had a chance to see. The experience is so bad. Saturn has too many moons. It is impossible to quack on each one once. But there's another one we have to see. Sweater name is A real-life Death Star. The giant Herschel crater on his surface. 130 kilometers in diameter, 10 kilometers deep. It's like gazing into the great wilderness of the abyss. This is like a Comic-Con pit. It really makes me want to explore. When I jumped into the pit, the attractive force here is extremely low, only 0.044 meters per square second. So it's going to be a long fall. Exactly 9 minutes. In the endless darkness. The only thing I can do is wait. Waiting for the final impact to come. And although it started off slowly, but when I hit the bottom of the pit, speed has accelerated to 129 kilometers per hour. For the last snap, it made me wait for 9 minutes. This foreplay is too long. I will give him 3 points for bad reviews. Left the graphics. Next stop, let's go to Phobos, the largest moon of Mars. If you think my mass is small, well, Phobos was a little world. And it's only 22 kilometers in diameter. Small attractive force is naturally weak. Only 0.1% of the Earth. Here it is. I feel like I can become Superman with just one jump. I'm driving the rover excitedly, galloping over a rugged surface. But the escape velocity here, only 41 kilometers per hour. I accidentally stepped on the accelerator a little hard, and it never came back. I was with my rover, lonely drifting into the endless void, looking at that tiny planet, farther and farther away from me. My end. After the oxygen in the life support system is exhausted. Suffocating in absolute loneliness. The irony is that Phoebus himself is doomed like me. He is falling towards Mars at a rate of 2 centimeters per year. About 50 million years later, will be completely torn apart by the attractive force of Mars. Overall, the experience was enjoyable. Then I give Phobos an 8. Because of speed and passion, sent into eternal exile into space. This ending is full of irony and loneliness. Very storytelling. Not too bad. Now let's go to the coldest place in the solar system. Sea sweater Triclorone. It receives 900 times less sunlight than the Earth. Any ray of light will be overwhelmed by its icy surface, directly reflected back into space. My spacesuit's external sensors show toxins. It's minus 232 degrees centigrade. The air here is almost entirely nitrogen, but most deadly of all. The freezing point of nitrogen is 210 below zero. This means that in Triclorone, even the air itself condenses into frost on my face. This extreme cold, no spacesuit can arrive for long. Royal, I can feel the heat of the life support system. It's draining away. My lungs, as the inhaled circulating air gets colder and colder, it stings. The blood seems to be clotting. It is said that there are ice volcanoes here, but I never got a chance to see it. It only takes a few minutes to die in such an environment. And because of the extreme cold, the body becomes so numb that it doesn't feel any pain. I give Terry a point for this experience. It's just incredibly cold. It's not fun. Karma is too fast. No sense of experience. Bad reviews or go to the familiar Jupiter. Each of these objects is completely different. So I can experience a series of wonderful way to hang up. Then I'll start from the largest moon in the solar system. Ganymede, let's get started. It has a diameter of 5,270 kilometers. This moon is bigger than Mercury. It's not just huge, there's also a metallic iron core, make it the only known possession. Satellites with their own magnetic fields. Due to its magnetic field and Jupiter's magnetic field, continuous interaction. This satellite, there's an intense laser like Earth. It's just that behind this beauty is a death trap. Because Jupiter's magnetic field is so strong and massive. So much so that Ganymede actually is operating inside his magnetic field. And Ganymede has its own magnetic field. The interaction between two magnetic fields can be highly destructive. So we're orbiting around Jupiter. put me on the scale of Jupiter. And the lethal radiation belts. The strength of an exposed nuclear reactor core. Spacesuit electronics are fragile. The intense radiation instantly destroyed my electronic system. The next thing is that the life support system is decompressing. Decompression so quickly. Let the air inside me rush out of my lungs. Bubbles are forming in my veins. Blood boils instantly. And here's the sad part, only after I found out. The aurora here is ultraviolet. I can't actually see it with the naked eye. I wanted to rate this satellite a 7, but I didn't see the aurora. I can only give him 1 point. The next stop is Io Callisto. This is the oldest shooting range in the solar system, has the most craters on the surface. Why are you here? Because of this satellite. Almost no geological activity. Unlike many other moons and planets, where volcanoes erupt, plate movement or other forces will reshape the surface over time. Crust of Callisto. Little has changed for billions of years. There's no atmosphere. This means that nothing can protect me. A trivial meteorite. At 50,000 kilometers per hour, like a supersonic bullet, easily pierced my spacesuit. Pressure body rupture, and then at minus 140 degrees Celsius. Instant freeze. This time it dies in the same way as this planet. Eternal. It's not a pretty sight. This experience, I can only give Callisto 2 points. But when it comes to ugly sights, and that's Io, as the spaceship slowly approaches the one covered in yellow sulfur, volcanoes everywhere, when lava flows across the planet. Suffice it to say that this is a real hell. So I decided to give up this landing. Next target. I think we should look at less popular satellites. For example, Ming Sweater Charon. This is Pluto's largest moon. But Pluto is tiny. So all of the satellites are obviously quite small too. That means the attractive force is weak. So the escape velocity here is 2,100 kilometers per hour. I can step on the accelerator freely. You see, the surface of Charon is covered with mountains and valleys. These characteristics all suggest that there was unstable geological activity. This is because billions of years ago, Charon used to be very geologically active. The internal heat of the card ruptures its ice shell, forming huge tectonic fissures. It even triggered an ice volcano eruption, but that time is long gone. Due to the absence of tidal heating from Pluto, Charon cools down, turned into a world of frozen silence. But my wheel is stuck. There is no violent death here. Only endless waiting. Communication outage. Hopeless rescue. My end is not to die, but on this icy planet far from the sun. With eternal loneliness, until it runs out. This experience, I give Charon a 6. Although there is no immediate excitement, but this prolonged despair has a different flavor. Last stop, I finally return to a familiar place, the moon. From here, I can see the blue home clearly. A false sense of security emerges. I can even see you are looking at me on Earth. But danger comes precisely from the smallest place. A tiny meteorite impact. I left a trail on my helmet. Almost imperceptible cracks. The surface of the moon is extremely small. Sharp, static dust. Through cracks into my respiratory system, this dust is like countless tiny shards of glass. Is tearing my lungs from the inside. I started coughing up blood, finally suffocated in his own blood. The eyes are still staring at the distant Earth. This experience, I rate the moon a 9. The ending is full of drama and tragedy. I can look at my home, but I can't go back. This is the end of my journey to death. Every mission ends, are proving the same thing. On the grand scales of the universe, how fragile and accidental life is. We look up at the stars, in search of their next home, or to better see yourself. Perhaps the end of the exploration. Not finding the next perfect score Earth. It's learning how to protect the one we're lucky to have now.